today, and I had something already scheduled, and I was trying to start early so I can get first thing done so I can get to my scheduled appointment, but doesn't appear so that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna do the best that I can. Mr. Miller, can you hear me, sir? Mr. Miller, you've taken advantage of hiring an attorney. I am going to speak to your attorney, although I normally speak to you. Mr. Florio, I have denied bond on 3 of the charges, and I've set bond on 2 of the charges. But I'll listen to you as it relates to your client and the case as to whether I should set charges. The counts that I have not set bond on are theft by receiving stolen property, fleeing from a police officer, and serious injury by vehicle. I've set bond on the VGCSA and the reckless driving. And the VGCSA is $10,000 and the reckless driving is $5,000. So I'll hear from you, sir, as it relates to the theft by receiving stolen property, the fleeing from police. And there is Miss Mary, wasn't reflected on the bond order, but there is another charge, warrant number 2022 CW 53073, that is a serious injury by vehicle. Go ahead, Ms. Florio.
Yes, sir, Judge. I've had a chance to review the warrants in this matter. What I believe, if this case were to proceed to trial, what I believe the evidence would show was that on the night of July 2nd, going into the early morning hours of July 3rd, that Mr. Miller was picked up at his home by some friends, and that when Mr. Miller was picked up at his home by some friends, they were in the automobile, which ultimately was involved in this accident. What I expect evidence would show was that at some point during the course of that evening, Mr. Miller became the driver of that automobile, not knowing that the car was stolen, but became the driver of the vehicle. At some point during that night, it would appear from a review of the warrant paperwork that Morrow Police made contact with the vehicle based off of a flock video hit, and that Morrow Police ascertained that the automobile was stolen, which we have no reason to dispute or refute. I'm sure it was a stolen vehicle if law enforcement says so. At that point, I think what the evidence would show is that Mr. Miller made a terrible decision, and that Mr. Miller, instead of stopping and doing what he should have, he unfortunately, as a young 17-year-old man, did not stop the automobile, and instead drove in a manner which I know he's embarrassed of, and I know his family's embarrassed of. And as a result, there was an accident. We understand from the warrants that there were 2 young ladies that were injured in the other car. From the investigation we've been able to do, we don't believe, thank God, we don't believe that those young ladies are still in the hospital. We believe that they've been discharged, and we believe that they're on the mend. Media reports would indicate that one of the young women was not seriously injured, but if the law enforcement officer identifies both women in his warrant, then I'll respect what he says in his warrant, but that's not necessarily what was reported in this accident. I don't have a reason to refute most of the allegations in here because law enforcement alleges that Mr. Miller was located, essentially trapped in the car. And he was trapped in the car in the driver's seat. He was life flighted himself to Grady Hospital, where he's remained because he nearly killed himself. Thank God he was the only person in his automobile that was injured. There was no one else in the car with him that was injured. He has been in custody. Well, I shouldn't use the word custody. He has been hospitalized, Judge, at Grady Hospital for the injuries which he sustained. He had surgery yesterday morning, I believe at 6 a.m. He still, I believe, is sporting one of the hospital bracelets on his wrist. But he was released from the hospital yesterday after the conclusion of surgery, and that relates, Judge, to he has a fractured ankle, fractured wrist, and multiple other physical injuries. He was released from the hospital, discharged from the hospital. He returned to his family home in Morrow and was arrested at his family home in Morrow yesterday afternoon by the fugitive squad. And so, Judge, what I would say to that is that there was no attempt by Mr. Miller to, once released, to try to flee the jurisdiction of the court, to try to go to a home that's unknown to law enforcement, to try to head to the to head to the airport, to try to secret himself or to hide himself away. He literally went to the home located on the address. Went to the address located on the warrant for him, that being 228 Morrow Road in Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. I think that may be a Morrow address, Your Honor. I know it says Forest Park on the warrants, but his family's communicated to me that that's actually a Morrow address. But he made no attempt to flee or leave the jurisdiction of the court. Your Honor, he is 17 years old. He lives at home with his father and his stepmother. He works at the Wendy's in Forest Park to try to support himself and to help out with family bills. He is on a number of medications right now. There are follow-up surgeries that he has scheduled for both July 22nd and July 27th at Grady Memorial Hospital to follow up with the injuries that he has. I've had a chance to speak with his family. I've known his stepmother for a number of years now, professionally, and she's very involved in his life. I've known his father for a number of years now professionally. His father's very involved in his life, and I know one of their biggest concerns, especially his father, has consistently been not losing his son to the street. And I think that's one of the reasons why his father has been as active in his life as he has been. I know this situation is something that Mr. Miller is embarrassed about. I know his family, hates it. I know the young ladies that were involved in this accident remain in everyone's prayers. I understand the court denying bond in this matter. We would ask that the court reconsider the denial of that bond based off of this young man's age, based off of the physical injuries that he's endured, based off of the future surgeries that he's going to require in the very near future at Grady Hospital. And so we would ask that the court set bond. If the court had concerns with regard to bond, certainly we're in a position of agreeing to any conditions that this honorable court deemed appropriate as a condition of bond. But for those reasons, Your Honor, we would ask that the honorable court grant bond in this matter, certainly respectful of what we're charged with. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Florio. I'm going to reconsider bond in this matter as it relates to any surgeries that he's going to have to endure by setting a bond. Those are issues that he is going to have to be responsible for. So I'm going to set give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Okay, so as it relates to warrant number 2022 CW 53071, theft by receiving stolen property, I'm going to set a $15,000 bond. As it relates to fleeing from a police officer, warrant ended in 7-2, I'm going to set a $10,000 bond. And as it relates to warrant ended in 7-3, serious injury by vehicle, I'm going to set a $15,000 bond. So let's see. So he's going to have a total bond of $55,000.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Is there anything else we need to address?
No, sir, Your Honor. I believe his family can make bond, but if they're not able to, do you know when his preliminary hearing court date will be?
Yes, sir. It'll be July 25th at 8:30 in the morning.
July 25th at 8:30. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Okay.
that concludes our business. May myself and Mr. Miller please be excused?
Yes, you can be excused and Mr. Miller can be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, who is the next person that we have on this camera?
We have Angela Campbell.
Let's bring up Miss Campbell.
Okay, let me put him back.
Okay.
I can't. You're just going to have to wait till you go back down to the and so 60 there.
I just finished it.
So you want to talk to the CEO down there. They all speak about 55. No, I mean, we have got, you can wheel yourself in. Okay, Judge, I'm bringing out Miss Campbell.
Okay. And who else do you have over there?
You can back up from there. Judge, I have DeAndre LeBlanc and Mr. Simmons.
Okay, LeBlanc and Simmons. Okay, I'm going to deal with each of the individuals that you have so we can shut that down and then go up open to the wider group. Ms.
Yes, Your Honor.
Campbell. Ms. Campbell, my name is Brad Gardner. I'm a magistrate judge here in Clayton County, and I'm here to go over your first appearance rights with you. This is not a trial of your case. It's not going to be an opportunity to take a plea in your case. I'm just here to tell you what you've been charged with, to give you court dates, and then to appoint a lawyer if that's what you want. You're going to have the right to retain counsel. You're going to have the right to question witnesses. You are at this point entitled to the right of the presumption of innocence. I want to tell you that you've been charged with 1 count of reckless conduct. That's a misdemeanor offense. And I've set the bond at $1,500. You've also been charged with 1 count of discharging a firearm near a roadway or highway. And that's also a misdemeanor. Bond's going to set at $1,500. So you're going to have a total bond of $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. If you bond out, that date will get waived. Would you like me to determine if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, it looks like you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I can bond out today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, Ms. Campbell.
You go back to 4, and then I will take it back to the infirmary, make a phone call.
So who are we bringing up next? Is it Mr. LeBlanc or Mr. Simmons?
I could bring on Mr. LeBlanc.
Okay,
Mr. LeBlanc. Need assistance.
can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, sir.
Mr. LeBlanc, my name is Brad Gardner. I'm presiding judge that's going to sit today over your first appearance hearing. We're not here to take a plea in your case. We're not here to determine whether you are guilty or innocent. I'm here to appoint you a lawyer to give you any court dates and tell you what you're charged with. If you give me 1 second.
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, you've been charged with a number of offenses. You're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. Bond's going to be set at $10,000. You're charged with possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute. Bond's going to be set at $10,000. You're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Bond is going to be denied on that charge. You're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Bond's going to be set at $10,000. And you're charged with reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for you for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. And that'll be by Zoom. You're also going to have a bond hearing date that's going to be set for July 28th at 8:30 in the morning. And that will also be by Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. LeBlanc. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Is it possible for me to, like, if I do find another lawyer, like a personal lawyer, whatever like that, is it possible for me to get the bond for the aggravated assault?
It's always possible. This is a decision that I'm making at this point. Any lawyer, whether it's your private lawyer or whether it's a lawyer that you have through the public defender's office, they can always negotiate with the state to get you a bond, consent bond set. And if that were to happen, I don't ever go behind those negotiations. And what I mean by that is that if that's what your lawyer and the prosecution has negotiated, I'm fine with it. Is there anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, you're free to go back. Let's bring up Mr. Simmons.
Yes, Your Honor. One moment.
Yes,
Can you tell me the bond amount for warrant number ending in 53161?
$10,000.
And then.
Got court.
Yeah, I know I had called for them earlier. They got some close.
I'm sorry, did you hear me, Judge?
Yes, I said $10,000.
What about 53162?
6.2 is $10,000.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I called myself and Lieutenant Lee, I called for them about an hour or so ago. Now you got, I'm a little release.
Are you Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated stalking and cannot set a bond on this charge at this stage. So bond is going to be denied pursuant to Georgia statute 17-6-1 on the aggravated stalking. With respect to the terroristic threat charge, I've set a $3,000 bond. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning, and that'll be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for July 29th at 8:30 in the morning, which will also be by Zoom. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back. All right, does that conclude the people who are in this section?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Let's switch back over to both the male and female side, the main group.
Am I clear to be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Can we get the female side to log on?
Can you see me, Judge?
Yes, I can. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm going to be the presiding judge over this first appearance hearing here today. We're not here to take a plea in your case. We're not here to have a trial of your case. We're here for me to tell you what you've been charged, tell you your charges, give you a lawyer if that's what you want, and to set a bond for you so you can go home and leave here. During this and all of the proceedings, you're going to have the right to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you. You're going to have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf. And you have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. And finally, if we have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you. If you're charged with an offense where there's a stay away condition on the bond, if you violate that stay away condition, you can be charged with aggravated stalking, and bond will be denied, and you can remain in jail until your trial. You have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. If you choose to waive your preliminary hearing, or before choosing to waive your preliminary hearing, you should speak to a lawyer first if you're unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is going to be automatically waived. Everyone that has a bond, you're going to have the ability to post your bond by either cash, commercial, or property. And what that means is that if you post bond by cash, you can pay the entire amount of the bond to the sheriff's department. They will hold that money until your case is resolved, and then they return that money to you. If you go through a bonding company, the bonding company will most often or most likely charge you a fee, and that fee will be somewhere between 10 to 12% of your bond amount. The fee you pay to the bonding company is not refundable. So that's just a fee that you pay to them for that service. Lastly, if you have property that you would like to put up as collateral for the bond, that property will have to have a value of at least 3 times the bond amount. Lastly, would everyone please raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's start on the ladies' side with Miss Kayla Berry. Are you Miss Berry?
Yes.
Ma'am, you charged 1 count of battery. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Kelvin Brown. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. That date will get waived if you're bonded out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Berry, I'm going to find that you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Brown, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. It's a misdemeanor offense, so your preliminary hearing date will be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, and that will most likely be by Zoom. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Hall? Ms. Hall, ma'am, you charge a 1 count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. There will be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a vanity almond. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
I can be able to bail out today, set up everything.
I'm sorry.
I will be able to bond out today, set up everything since you're telling me a bond is 4,000.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the only question. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Excuse me, Judge, Your Honor.
Yes.
I had a mistake. Mrs. Brown Pillar, she's not here. It was Mrs. Lancaster Kimbrough, but her last name is Brown also, sir. My correction.
So the person I just spoke to is Lancaster Kimbrough.
Yes, sir, correct.
You said Miss Brown is not here?
Pillar Brown, I'm not sure where she's located, but she's not here in this room with us right now, sir. No, sir. I'm correct.
Okay, I'm sorry, you froze for a second.
Mrs. Pillar Brown, correct? The one you wanted to speak to, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, she's not currently in this room, no, sir.
So she wasn't brought down for first appearance?
I'm not sure where she's located at the moment, sir, but she's not in the room with us at the moment, no, sir.
Your Honor, I'll get someone from intake to bring her down for first appearance. She should be dressed out and ready to go. She was there this morning.
Yeah, I have a location for her.
Yeah, I talked to her face to face this morning, Your Honor. I'll get someone to bring her down for first appearance.
Okay, can we bring Miss Lancaster?
Yes, sir. She's coming up now, sir. My apologies.
Okay, ma'am, can you just, so that I'm clear, can you tell me your name?
My name was Shante Lancaster Kimbrough, but I got married in July 2021, so it's now Lancaster Brown.
Okay. So, ma'am, you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000. And I'm assuming you still want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you.
And you will be able to bond out today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Nicole Lewis.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Lewis, ma'am, you're charged with one count of battery, bond set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Lashari Kochinsky. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. And that'll hearing will be by Zoom. If you bond out, that date will get waived and you'll receive a new date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Murray? Are you Mercedes Murray?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your charges are going to be dismissed. There's a technical defect in your charges, they did not name the alleged victim on this battery offense. So it will be dismissed. It does not mean the state can't bring it back. So the Solicitor General's office, if they want to, they can file what's called an accusation and formally charge you within their office. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I do.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, sir, do not.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Darielle Percy. Miss Percy, ma'am, you charged with one count of misdemeanor theft by receiving. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom, but if you bond out, that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Staggers. Miss Staggers, ma'am, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. However, if you bond out, that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. Matt Tucker represents me.
Matt Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it Miss Tatum?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Tatum, ma'am, you're charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property as a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. And you're charged with one count of an open container violation. Bond is going to be set at $500. Because of the felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll most likely be by Zoom. If you bond out, that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, I can get bundled out today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I do got one more question, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I was in a car with somebody. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Okay. Is that the last person on the ladies' side?
Besides Mrs. Brown, sir, yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. If we can't get Miss Brown down today, I am going to continue her case. And what I mean today is like, you can leave, just turn the camera off, leave that open, try to get Miss Brown. If you get Miss Brown, I will deal with her today. But as I said earlier, I'm trying to get to.
Here she comes.
Okay.
She comes. She's coming in. Mrs. Brown? Brown? Mrs. Brown? Mrs. Brown?
I'm going for
Yes, ma'am. No.
Oh, they're calling on.
First name's Philip?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The way ladies right.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, are you Miss Pilar Brown?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. I've
Yes.
set bond at $1,000.
Okay.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date on July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. I have appointed a lawyer to represent you. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, my charge, it was criminal trespassing, but it had to do, I was washing my hands with gas.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand, which is not a good thing to do, man.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, and I come back on July 26th.
Yes, ma'am. No, if you bond out,
Mhm.
that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Okay.
Okay. And it I don't know how long it may be for that new court date. Could be 6 months or whatever, but it's just so you know, the what mechanically or technically happens is that when you bond out, your case gets sent over to the state court and of Clayton County, and it gets assigned to a judge. And because I don't know what judge your case is going to be assigned to, I cannot give you a court date. The court date will come from that new judge.
Okay. And my bond is set at $1,000.
$1,000.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
the lowest amount that I could set where you can go through a bonding company.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're free to go back, man.
First up, so
All right, let's switch over to the mails.
I'm judge name. All right, Jaquez Alexander.
Okay, you said you're Mr. Alexander?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Alexander, you've been charged with one count of aggravated assault. I've denied bond at this stage. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, stay away from a Samaya Bird. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will most likely be by Zoom. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for July 29th at 8:30 in the morning. And it says that you were unable to fill out the court appointed form. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
No, sir.
Okay, you qualify, sir. I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Is that all that I'm charged with?
That's all that I see right now. And this is what was done by what we call a CW, which warrant that a police officer came and got the warrant from a judge. So I don't know if there are other charges out there pending.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're free to go back. Mr. Bell.
Bill.
Leroy Bell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bell, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $1,500. This is a misdemeanor offense, so your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning.
20 what?
Likely be by Zoom, July 26th
Oh,
at 8:30 in the morning. That will most likely be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Chambers.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chambers, sir, you're charged with one count of forgery in the first degree. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll most likely be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Clark. Are you Mr. John Tavius Clark?
Correct.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I've set a bond at $20,000. This is a felony offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Jose Scott. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you earn per hour?
I work with Active Risk Youth. So it's through like a charitable foundation.
How much do you make per hour?
Close to about $10 to $15 an hour.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
When would I be able to plead my case?
When your case gets before the appropriate judge, which is the judge, it's going to be in Superior Court.
And when was that court date again?
Your next court date is set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. If you bond out, that date will get waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Right.
Just as I explained to the other gentleman, I don't know what judge your case is going to get assigned to. I don't have that judge's calendar, so I can't tell you that. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Mr. Contreras.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking cocaine. Bond is going to be denied at this point pursuant to Georgia statute 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for July 29th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Do you have your own lawyer?
Yes, I have a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Crocker. Well, Mr. Crocker is OTB. Mr. Custis or Custis.
Yeah, okay.
Dominic, Soldier.
Mr. Custis, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Bond is going to be denied at this point. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Valerie Fletcher. Do you understand that?
I ain't committed a crime.
There's a stay away provision to stay away from Valerie Fletcher. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You said
Yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, I see. Yes, sir.
As you stand here, Mr. Custis, you're an innocent man. You don't have to tell me that you're innocent because you're not guilty. State has to prove your guilt. My job is to give you court dates and to appoint a lawyer if that's what you want, and to tell you what you're charged with. I didn't make these charges up. Do you understand that? Do you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a bond hearing date of July 29th at 8:30 in the morning. And your preliminary hearing date is set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you have any other questions, sir?
No.
You're free to go back. Mr. Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dominic, sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault. Bond is going to be denied on that charge. You're also charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, but that's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Tayshawn Asia Murphy. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. Your bond hearing date is going to be set for July 29th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Not at the moment, sir.
Okay. Thank you. You're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dozier,
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Let's see. Hold on one second. Mr. Dozier, sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Tanya Moore. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will most likely be by Zoom.
July 26th, and what else, sir?
That hearing will most likely be by Zoom.
Okay, what time again? Repeat that again.
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the morning. Thank you, sir.
If you're welcome. If you bond out, that date will get waived.
Okay. So I can get bond today. Bond
Yes,
out. Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay.
If that date gets waived through your bonding out, you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
All right.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
For a lawyer? Yes, sir. For attorney? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you said yes?
Yes, for an attorney. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Gooden.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Mr. Gooden, sir, you're charged with one count of simple assault. Bond is set at $4,000. One count of pointing a pistol or gun at another. Bond is set at $5,000. One count of terroristic threats. Bond set at $5,000. One count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Bond is set at $10,000. One count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, which is a felony. Bond is set at $5,000. And one count of reckless conduct. Bond set at $5,000. That's total bond of $34,000. There's a stay away provision on your bond, stay away from a Deidre Gardner. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, not right off the bat. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Gillian. Yes, you're Diego Gillian. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor offense.
Sorry, one question, interpret? Speak Spanish, somebody?
Deputies, hey, can we cut the noise down in the back? Can we cut the noise, the chatter in the back?
He said y'all stop talking. He told me to stop talking.
Mr. Gillian is asking for an interpreter. Mr. Gillian, I can continue your case until tomorrow and we'll have an interpreter available for you, okay?
Oh, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, possibly understand a little bit. Please, I'm sorry. Please, for today.
Listen, if the noise keeps going on in the background, I'm continuing everybody till tomorrow. Stop talking. Mr. Gillian, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning.
26.
Yes, sir.
8:30 in the morning?
Yes, sir. If you
say 3,000?
Yes, sir. If you bond out, that date will get changed to a new date and you'll receive that date in the mail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. My bond, somebody to pay for today, tomorrow, my bond is out.
Yes, today you'll be able to bond out.
Okay, somebody come today for pay the bond, maybe it's possibly today out, right? Is correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, and one more question. And I paid the bond already. And 26 Julio is my second court. He's just come back for call or no more? No more?
You will have to come back for court.
Oh, okay. There's
But
no
you will receive a piece of paper, which is a notice to come to court.
Okay. Okay. There's 3,000. Okay, perfect, sir. Understand.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hines. Mr. Hines, sir, you're charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling bond set at $1,000. That's a misdemeanor offense, so your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived if you bond out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I would.
I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that'll be all.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Johnson, Sean Johnson. Sir, you're charged with one count of, well, do you know what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for the first count ending in warrant number 215, I'm setting a bond at $30,000. The second account ending the warrant 216, I'm also setting the bond at $30,000. That's total bond of $60,000. There's a stay away provision on this bond, stay away from a Brittany Marshall. Do you understand that?
Wait, who? Brittany Marshall, who's that?
Do you want me to discuss that?
No.
Okay.
Are you?
That's the person that you're alleged to have.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
It says refuse on here. Were you planning on hiring your own lawyer?
I want that. Don't mind. I need an attorney.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. However, if you bond out, that date will get changed and you will get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Stephen Johnson. Sir, you're charged with one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. You're also charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property, also being a firearm. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. These are both felony offenses. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be July 25th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Or most likely it'll be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. Qualify, I'm appointing a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What county was the VOP in?
I'm sorry.
What county was the VOP in? Violation of probation.
I don't have you for violation of probation. I don't know anything about that.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Jarrell? Juriel?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you charge one count of loitering and prowling. That's misdemeanor, bond set at $1,000. One count of obstructing an officer, bond is going to be set at $2,000. One count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, bond is going to be set at $10,000. Because of the felony offense, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That most likely will be by Zoom. The date will get waived if you bond out and you receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Let's see, Mr. Lawrence is OTB. Mr. Newton is OTB. Mr. O'Kane.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, you charge one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. It's a misdemeanor offense. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, sir.
Mr. Kane, you do qualify. I just need to know how much do you make per hour?
Right now, I don't have a job right now. Just been like, helping out, laying what little job I can get, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Wait, you said something about the court date? I didn't.
July 26th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Odom.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Odom, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by conversion. As a felony offense, bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Rodriguez Cruz. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. It's a misdemeanor offense, so you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, stay away from a Frank Rodriguez. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
At what time you say?
8:30.
8:30.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Okay,
Do you
sir.
want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Rose,
Yes, Your Honor.
sir, you're charged with 1 count of, it says use of fighting words, but it's wrapped up in a disorderly conduct charge, which is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
You said that was 8:30 in the morning?
Yes, sir, but that date will get waived upon
Okay.
your bonding out.
All right.
If you're in a position of attending that hearing, that means you have not bonded out. So you will be brought over by the sheriff's department. Okay,
All right. Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. And last person I have is Courtney Wright.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Mr. Wright, sir. You're charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. 1 count of cruelty to children in 3rd degree misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Victoria Johnson. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201, or by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will receive a new court date in the mail. You want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. All right, does that complete the mail side?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Thank you. Let me stop this on YouTube.